please, chat, as much as I say fuck you about like things like you're dying too much, I want you guys to just tear apart my Zarya play.
Alright, guys.
This is a learning experience for you, for me, for everyone. I want you to,
You heard it here first, right out of his mouth. Tear him a new one.
Zarya play because I'm struggling, chat.
What's up, guys? It's Canadian, and today we have the second of 5 Jayne Zarya VOD reviews. Now, at the time, Jayne has been really into playing Zarya, trying to improve with her, and we are trying our best to help him improve. Now, he already put out a video about his Zarya play, which I will try to remember to link in the description. Basically, he called out his own issues with Zarya, being he was reloading too much, and he wasn't having good barriers. We've already saw some of that in the first Jayne VOD review, which should already be on YouTube, and we're going to be looking at the second one to see, you know, what sort of adjustments he makes going into it. Now, this is, so of the 5 VODs, it goes from bad to good. So being the second one, you know, he hasn't realized some of the improvements yet. So by the time we get to 5, I expect the play to get a lot better. So we're still in the struggling phase of the learning process here for Jayne, as he said in his own video. So we are going to do our best to look at his positioning, target selection, reload discipline, beam grenade discipline, ability usage, graviton usage, all that jazz, and hopefully we can learn something and help him be a better Zarya player. Now, if you don't know who I am Canadian. I make a ton of educational Zarya content as well as Orisa content. I do VOD reviews on my stream. You can check all that, and I also make Zarya and Orisa guides. You can check out all that stuff on my YouTube. There's tons of it there available to you, and you can submit your own VODs by checking the links in the description if you want to see your VOD reviewed in this type of setting. So, let's go ahead and get started.
Rialto. Well, hi. The phase of my Zarya play. That
actually, let's hear what he has to say about his Rialto play.
Okay, so on Rialto, I was bubbling early so that I would have a bubble later into the fight. And you guys wanted me to do my first bubble more when the fight has started. So I'm going to change the way I'm doing bubbles. We're going to experiment with a different bubble style. I'm going to bubble in, like, high damage situations. So I'm going to remove the phase of my Zarya play that builds energy, because I assume that every one of my bubbles in this kind of meta... Hey, do you mind if I play Zarya? The way I do bubbles entirely. It works out better. Please, chat... Yes, and please, chat, as much as I say fuck you about like things like you're dying too much, I want you guys to just tear apart my Zarya play.
Alright, guys.
This is a learning experience for you, for me, for everyone. I want you to,
You heard it here first, right out of his mouth. Tear him a new one.
Zarya play because I'm struggling, chat.
Like I said, we're in the struggling phase, and we're going to tear him a new one in a nice, respectful way like we do here. Alright. So, just a real quick comment on the adjustment he's making in this game from the Rialto game. The Rialto game, by the way, it was the first Jayne VOD review. So he's saying he wants to bubble, he wants to get rid of bubbling early for energy, and that has its pros and cons. The main thing is, as Zarya, you have to be able to recognize, you know, the poke phase the poke phase is all about game sense, recognizing that in this window of time, in this match, based on the two teams, based on what's happened, based on the ultimates I can expect from each team to occur, are we in a poke phase? Yes or no? There should be like, I should make like a flow chart, like is this a poke phase, or like a tree diagram or whatever it's called, a flow chart of like how to determine a poke phase, because there's so many factors that go into, you know, is this a poke phase? And I think on the Rialto map, there was a lot of poke phases that he recognized, which was fine, but he wasn't then using the barriers properly in the poke phase to get energy.
Alright. Said I wouldn't do that.
Again, this is it's funny he just said he wouldn't do that, so coming from the first review, it is a poke phase, but he's bubbling too early, and however, he did try, he almost caught the Zen volley. He was reacting to this Zen firing a volley at his Rhine, so the bubble was it was a good timing, but not good enough because then it was just a teeny tiny bit late, and he didn't catch the volley.
Said I wouldn't do that.
It was a good bubble. He just missed it a bit, but the enemy team is gonna give him the energy anyways. Widowmaker again. All right, poke. Like now that this Ryan has appeared, poke phase over.
I got a bubble for you.
All right.
What up top? What up top?
This reload though.
What up top?
93. Like, why did he reload right here? He says 93 ammo, and there's like so many enemies right here. This is a really bad reload.
Up top. Widow 1.
Personal. That was a great personal. And with the combination of the Brigitte stun onto the poor Reinhardt, he gets melted.
And I got another bubble in 3 seconds for you.
Nice, good comms.
Okay.
This reload makes sense because he wants to push the advantage, but he has no personal shield, so he can't get too aggressive, so he's keeping himself alive. This is the right thing to do.
Sorry, Discord.
Can we res that?
Jump shot.
Do we have a Mercy? We don't have a Mercy.
We have the technology.
Just recharge your shield, recharge your shield, recharge your shield.
Yeah.
He has to personal to cover his own retreat,
Widow.
potentially. Well, I don't know about this. I think he overextended now.
Sorry, I love you, bro.
Is he gonna get away with
Shield
this?
But
Oh my god. Oh, he communicated what he wanted to do. He went for the Widow. Oh, here's another thing. Oh my god. I just had so many thoughts. I'm sorry you guys have to watch this. So many thoughts just went through my head. Okay, hang on. Deep breath here. Okay, lots of thoughts, lots of thoughts.
Yo, Widow.
So first, he's fighting the Widow. He took some damage from the side, which prompts the personal. Right when she jumps right here, like this is when you want to use grenades, right? Because they're moving in a very predictable arc. Grenade is a lot of burst damage. He's at a decent amount of energy right now. So that's when you want to use grenades to really make killing squishies that much easier. So right there, here's grenade number 1 and grenade number 2. That's 2 grenades he could have had on the Widow for burst damage, and then potentially finish her off with beam. So then he realizes he didn't get the kill. He's trying to get out. So he doesn't overextend. He overextended a little, but he didn't do it too much so that he died. Then he's communicating like, okay, he knows in his head, I'm screwed. Reinhardt, can you please cover my retreat with shield? And the Reinhardt does it. So this is good comms and a good adaptation by the Reinhardt to help his off tank.
Can I get shielded out?
but
Yeah, that was really good.
Just pressuring their tanks, just pressuring tanks.
Gonna bash her.
Bubble in 5, bubble in 5.
Ooh, that sucks.
Bubble in 5.
Widowmaker is like a total bane of Zarya's existence.
5.
Yeah, 200 HP gone just like that.
I got headshot.
Widow's top left.
That sucks.
The Widow did so much.
See what I was talking about, easy shots?
Could go dive here.
He missed the rocket. I shouldn't say missed. It was like already halfway to him, and then he bubbled. Like the bubble was just slightly delayed, but that wasn't his fault. He should have caught that second one though. This one nah, it's probably too far.
2 seconds left.
Bubble in 5 for you.
His DPS is Hanzo Genji versus Pharah Widow. Oh man, I guess Genji's good versus Widow.
Oh, no, hell no.
Okay, you got the
Widow,
energy.
in the corridor or whatever.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing about like bubbling Reinhardt. Bubbling Reinhardt is like there's so many different kinds of bubbles for Reinhardt, and one that you see a lot, which is the one we see from Jayne right here, is you see this bubble happen a lot. And you know, I like to make the argument that this is not a barrier for energy. It's a barrier to like help his Rhine do something, you know, deal some damage, etc. But the more I see this type of bubble from any player, not just Jayne, like when I was doing Overwatch League analysis yesterday, so like watching like Spree do this bubble, Zumba do this kind of bubble, when 2 Rhines are like in close proximity to each other, it seems less like a bubble to enable Reinhardt and more like a bubble to enable the Zarya. Like, I want energy, please give me energy. And I personally don't like selfish energy farming bubbles in when a fight is happening or about to happen.
So,
It's like Reinhardt His Reinhardt wasn't fighting. I mean, he was getting kind of attacked, but he's full HP. Like, he's okay. And so Jayne bubbles trying to get the energy.
Corridor.
And he does get the energy, but now this fight is currently happening now, and Jayne has no bubbles.
Okay, next bubble in 5.
Like, honestly, the red Reinhardt could just charge the blue Reinhardt, and that's it. Like, because the red team can charge, like, if the blue Rein charged, he's, like, way out of position, but the red Rein could easily charge the blue Rein.
Oh, don't have shield anymore. We need to kill stuff, guys.
That was a good personal to get out.
Fight back so you can charge back up.
That was a good projected to cover his retreat, the Reinhardt's retreat, because Reinhardt had no shield.
Full energy here. Just play a little bit passive until my next bubble set. Can we get out of this?
Really need defensive wall.
Good target focus. Good bubble.
I think we can push back in. Moira, fuck me.
We probably didn't have to reload here. He had 77. Like, he could have been shooting this Pharaoh right now. Wait, let's see. Did he reload before Pharaoh was on the screen?
I think.
Yeah, he did. He already pressed reload before Pharaoh was on the screen. He's gonna get the Pharaoh. Grenade!
This is you right
Aw, he missed the grenade.
It's enough.
He got the follow-up grenade though.
now. Oh, 2 of them.
No, grenade.
There's a more in
He needs a grenade or more because she's so small and nimble.
On that man. Okay, got on that man.
2 grenades and reload again.
Okay, got.
You've got dragon? Let's push up on him. Push up on him.
I wouldn't ult though. I think you guys are. This is a really early barrier. He didn't need to bubble so early. Here, this is definitely a greedy barrier right here. He is full. He was like already full energy. He's full energy, and then he bubbled Ryan. I take it back. Ryan just chunked for 250, so I take it back. This barrier is okay.
As soon as they group, I'm gonna try. Or
You'll have 4.
no, huge rally, huge rally, huge rally.
Ryan 1.
Nah, he was okay. He didn't need this barrier. That dude, the Reinhardt was okay. He didn't need
Ryan
it.
1. You have no Ryan.
Don't grab your. No, now that Genji died, now you might.
I'm gonna do it. They're in it. They're in it.
He's doing it.
Nice grenading the thing.
I'm gonna try and get some staggers. Come up with me. I want to try and get some more staggers and energy.
He went with 2 dog.
Okay, back up now. Back up now. Back up now.
We're fine, we're fine.
That was a good sequence of events for him, for Jayne. That was well played.
Off Widow.
No, they just used it to fight back.
Off Widow.
No, they just used
So now he's full energy. He doesn't need to use a projected barrier to keep his energy up. He's already full energy. And then he did it.
Back up.
Those are the
they
barriers.
just used it to fight back.
These are the barriers that I don't like. Sure, Reinhardt's shield is definitely weak. But he's full HP. Like, if his barrier breaks, I could understand bubbling him so he doesn't get, like, chunked for a bunch of damage, but...
Okay.
Back out. Back out. We need to just stabilize.
He technically got 0 energy from that.
Our Reinhardt shield's low. Back out and stabilize. Back out.
He used Zarya's most important ability to get 0 energy.
I'm your only.
Imagine if he had
Reinhardt-
saved that barrier. He could have saved his Moira here if he hadn't barriered his Rein.
Used it to fight before.
There's really no reason to do this.
Okay.
Back out. Back out. We need
And
to
his Moira
stabilize.
dies.
Our Reinhardt shield's.
This is just a great example of, like, being greedy for energy isn't the end-all be-all of
Back out and
Zarya.
stabilize. Back out and stabilize.
I'm your only anyway.
Actually, we need to just die on the payload here. We need to die on the payload here. Stabilize.
I'm your only anyway.
Actually, we need to just.
I don't know. You guys are only -1. You can still turn it around with, like, an Earth Shatter or something, or Dragon
Just
Blade.
die on the payload here. We need to die on the payload here.
He just ran forward and died on the payload. He didn't even make him fight for it. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, sure, yeah, you should fight on the payload and die on the payload, but he just threw his
Just die
life
on the payload
away.
here.
He didn't even.
Actually,
He
we need
didn't
to
even. He could have gotten ult charge at least. Like, he had full HP, 100 charge, personal shield coming off cooldown, projected barrier coming off. He could have fought, built some ult charge, and maybe gotten ultimates out of the red team. But he just ran. He just ran into him. I don't know. I disagree with this.
Just die on the payload here.
He didn't even
Or
fire.
I
He
can
didn't
make
even
a play.
fire any ammo. Like, right when he died, his Reinhardt killed their Reinhardt,
Or
making it a 5-5. But since Jayne died, it became a 4-5 in his disadvantage.
I can make a play, and we would have won that.
Yep, that was awkward.
Sorry, half. Sorry, 1. Sorry, 1.
He could have been here helping his Ryan. He could have been here pressuring that
Don't die off that
Zarya,
payload.
building
Stay
ult
and die on the
charge.
payload. Don't die after. Don't. Stay on the.
Yeah, that was awkward. That was a lapse. That was a lapse of judgment.
Gonna win that one. Lost our Moira. We weren't gonna win that one. We lost our Moira. We weren't gonna win that one.
Yeah, you don't have to win it though. You just have to. You don't have to win every fight, but you got to make the enemy team win the fight. And instead of making the enemy team win the fight, you handed them the fight. I mean, also even earlier in this round, it was him and Moira versus like what, three or four enemies, and they managed to turn it around. I mean, technically, Jayne said we lost Moira, we're not going to win. So, and technically, in the situation I'm referencing, he had his Moira, but still, definitely should have at least fought.
To recontest.
No transfer. So
This is going to be so much harder now, and the enemy Zarya is going to be way ahead of him in graviton charge.
Start moving in.
He has to personal to cover his approach. Yep. I was just saying she's ahead in grab charge.
Fucking Genji's doing anything.
That's fine. We forced them to use 3 ults there. That was huge.
See, right here, we forced them to use 3 ults, which is huge. They could have done that at that street phase corner instead of right before they capped the street phase.
It's huge. We're coming into this with Dragon Blade, and we've got Earth Shatter coming up. This is huge.
This is a great barrier to catch. Did that one Zarya grenade? No, it was something else. 2 Zarya grenades gave him 40 energy. Really easy personal shield there to get full energy.
Zarya no soap.
Okay, our Genji's ready to Dragon Blade. Let's move up. On you, Genji. I'm ready to bubble you whenever you want.
Bombs are there. Plan is there.
Zonzo.
Bubble is there. That was really good.
First chance.
Again, he bubbled too early here.
First chance.
Right here, Pharah's ulting, sure, but he needed to hold onto this bubble until the Pharah looked at him. He bubbled too early. He bubbled. He did get energy for it.
No support.
Did he get as much as he could have? Let's see. No, he got full energy for it, but it was still like, if that Pharah didn't have to give him the energy. She just gave it to him because why not? But it was still an early bubble. Like, it worked out, but it could have easily not worked out.
Or just die, I guess.
Yeah, they're snowballing off of that street
Still
phase
one more
fight.
here, and we've got Dragon. They don't.
And he's so behind on ult charge, 60%, because he didn't get any when he was 100 charge.
I'm trying to. Alright, Rebel.
You just need to
okay,
keep
don't
up
go
here.
Zarya.
Change an ultra.
Dude.
The Widow. Don't focus the Pharah. She was barraging. We should have broken through that barrier as much best we could to kill her. Supports? Oof. Back and
When he at this point in time in his his Zarya journey, he hadn't realized yet, not to bubble when he's like 90 plus charge.
We got this, team. They have jump?
I definitely hit bubble if I hear justice. Yeah, but that's a bad habit.
no.
Ooh, dang. He got the energy, but he almost died. He also gave over ult charge to
I said, I mean, they have jump. I said,
again, this one, Reinhardt took like, I don't know, 50 damage, and then the bubble happened. Man, and the red team still gave him energy for that bubble. All right.
Just take this slow.
Nice. So he's full charge now. He just needs to have good projected barriers here. He can be so patient and reserved with the projected barrier because he's so charged.
From
25. He's got a projected here. What happened to the Hanzo? I'm trying to see. Hanzo's getting dinked right there. Hanzo's honestly just not on his screen, so him not bearing Hanzo is like, it's totally acceptable because he didn't see Hanzo at all, and which is unfortunate, but it happens.
Just recharge your shield. We still got people picked.
You can keep energy up with the personal here. Man, he bubbled early, and this Ryan still fire striked. But he got energy from the Junkrat in Hotel anyway. Like this one.
I'm about to F.
This one, like 3 energy bubble. He didn't need
roll
that
back,
one.
roll
He
back.
could have held that one. I think he'll get it back.
Let's rotate right side of
But-
statue. Just build up your shield.
Yeah, he'll get it back, but he still didn't need that one. I think he grenades too much. He should be lasering the Rhine here. He bubbles his Rhine, which is good because Rhine's getting focused. But it takes him so long to start lasering this Reinhardt. Like, let's see here.
You just build up your.
He turns
shield.
this corner. Right here, he should have been lasering Rhine instantly. He fires a grenade, bubbles his Rhine, and then he needs to be lasering Rhine's shield. And then finally, he lasers. 3 seconds. 3
bubble.
seconds. Ooh, nice.
3. Get Zarya now.
Hanzo.
Again, this
Right now?
barrier, not necessary. Right? A fight's happening, coalescence is going on, so many things are happening, and as Zarya, you get that feeling like, I want to be useful in this fight, have a barrier. But you need the barriers in the fight to be good quality barriers in order to be a useful Zarya. So, Reinhardt's getting healed by coalescence, he's got over half of his HP. Like, there is room for... Hang on, I gotta sneeze, I think. Hang on. Nope, the sneeze went away. There's room for error to let Reinhardt or Brigitte take damage before you bury them. So he's using projected barrier like so early in a lot of these fights.
Hanzo 1.
Inside.
Joker low, Joker low.
There's Zarya's gonna be
ahead.
coming up on grab. Junkrat's behind us.
I need heals.
Pay attention with projected.
I'm
One,
gonna
one,
stop this.
Nice, there you go.
Hanzo left.
Again, he personaled here. Like, why did he personal? Let's see. Why did he reload also? This is just a weird engagement here. He's fighting the Zarya. His personal is about to come off cooldown. He has energy, he has ammo, and then he stops fighting to reload. And then he bubbles when the Zarya isn't even looking at him. So this was a really awkward engagement. And so now when he needs the personal to protect himself from this Zarya, he doesn't have it because he did it too early. Whereas the enemy Zarya didn't bubble until Jayne was shooting her. So this Zarya had the better bubble,
Zarya no
Zarya,
soul.
and
Zarya.
she's gonna win that fight.
Definitely
Jayne
right.
has to run. I think he meant to
Definitely
bubble the
right.
Brigitte there. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He meant to bubble the other guy.
Or go tank.
Zarya's no personal, so he's focusing it really good.
Yep.
I think right when Moira started healing the Zarya, he needed to switch over to the Reinhardt. Reinhardt's got his back exposed to him, and he's discorded.
Fuck. We have four. Just wanna go grab.
The team kills the Rhine.
Zarya 1.
Ooh, that was so close.
Zarya 1.
Why did that Zarya grab though? That was a really bad
Huge, they
grab.
missed.
Oh my god, and then they used the Transcendence. No. Wouldn't melting Moira and forcing her to fade away and then beaming Zarya be a better choice? You know what, Rogs? That is a good point. Let's look at this again. That is a good point, Rogs.
Hanzo left.
The Moira is close enough that, yeah, he could have switched targets onto the Moira. You are correct, Rogs. That is a good point. If Moira was playing farther away healing the Zarya, then no. But since she is playing this close to the enemy Zarya, Jayne could have shot the Moira instead, forcing her fade. Right here is when he could have shot the Moira, in this frame right here.
Zarya no soul.
Get Zarya.
That's a good point, Rox. Thank you for pointing that out. And then even right here, he could have shot Rhine because I don't know. I think Rhine is in range of Moira, but he could have definitely killed the Moira for sure. Right here, He tunneled a little bit too hard on the Zarya. Don't get me wrong. I mean, really, there's not necessarily any bad target choices here, right? This Zarya is super mega charged. She's melting the team, so you want her to go away. But what's stopping her from going away? It's the Moira. So if you get rid of the Moira, that makes getting rid of the Zarya that much easier. So it's not like targeting Zarya was a bad choice. It's just there's a better choice.
We have five. We have four. We have four.
Yeah, she is getting that. Moira is getting so much ult charge.
Zarya one.
Grab was so bad, but that enemy
Huge, they
Zarya,
missed.
that enemy Zarya got baited by the enemy Hanzo. He's like, I'm firing dragon from spawn, shoot your grab. And then the allied Zen transcended when he definitely
Huge,
didn't
they
need
missed.
to.
Big W.
She of that Moira evaporated.
Got him.
No, fall back. Don't die, don't lose your charge. Aw. No, he can't even bubble this Hanzo because Hanzo got a headshot. So there's nothing about this, like there's no way he could have bubbled Hanzo, but I would say like, oh, he bubbled too early. Hanzo's fine, but like fighting burst heroes that have like tiny projectiles or like hit scan like Widowmaker, it's really hard to bubble against them. So Hanzo dies, it's not a big deal. We just need to make sure Jayne doesn't die here. No, he was doing so well. Ah. Reloaded twice with high ammo. Let's see. So there he was 0.
Zarya one.
He was stuck in the grab here, so this reload's
they
whatever.
Big W.
This one, he's not fighting anyone.
Got him.
This one, yes, Toasty, you are correct. This reload is definitely not good. He is stuck with 1.5 seconds, not being able to attack the enemy Junkrat, which the enemy Junkrat, within that window of time, melts his barrier and his HP. If he hadn't reloaded, he's got so much ammo, 82 ammo, he could have melted the Junkrat, grenaded him, etc. You are right, Toasty, that was a bad reload. I missed it. Thank you for pointing it out. And then yeah, right here, now that his barrier got shredded, he can't go any farther because of the power of the enemy Hanzo. Like he also reloaded 50 here when the enemy Hanzo was there. Like two grenades would almost kill the enemy Hanzo. He'd have like, I don't know, like 30 HP or 20 HP, something like that. But yeah, even before he died, I didn't want Jayne, because I don't want you guys to think this is hindsight. I didn't want Jayne to engage further because he didn't have personal shield, because he was mega charged, and you want to keep that charge going into the next fight in the street phase where you can utilize that charge to just snowball a victory for your team.
Oh no.
Yeah, the reload definitely hurt him there. Both reloads hurt him there.
We have 3 alive right now. My bad, bro.
Easy energy. Let's look at the projected. I wasn't paying attention. He got 20 from it. That's fine. This is obviously a poke phase. The teams are very far away from each other,
Combo
etc.
here. I'm gonna use it pretty early.
The communication for grab is happening, which is good.
Set pretty early.
3. Oh, as soon as I start pushing.
I think he's telegraphing it too much by standing on top of the cart. Like, he isn't, like, so when he's standing on top of the cart here, he's telegraphing what he wants to do because he's not playing normally. If he was on the cart, spamming grenades and fighting and etc., it would look like he's playing normally just from a weird position. But since he's standing here, not doing any other actions, it looks really awkward, and the enemy team's like, oh, hey, there's Zarya wants to grab.
Let's go.
Use it, if you can.
Ooh, he's doing the signature grenade jump off the cart grab. I like it. It still caught the Rhine shield, unfortunately, but a lot of members still caught in there. Did his team have the combo? I don't actually know. Rotate the shield. Yep. There you go. Beam grenade melee. So much damage. That was really good.
Charge.
Nice.
Yo, grenade this guy. That barrier he can have because that's we've won the fight barrier. Again, like I said in the first review, Jayne's grabs are really the strongest part of his Zarya gameplay at this point in time. He knows what makes a good grab. He has the communications, got the follow-up. His graviton usage is really good.
She's on the right.
I can't say the same for Overwatch League Zarya's, unfortunately. Ooh, that was a good barrier. She needed it. The Pharah was dumpstering. Brigitte. Don't focus the Pharah. She's not your problem. This Reinhardt is swinging with impunity. Yeah, no. No, yeah. I disagree with that because Pharah is so hard to like. Jayne's tracking was good there, but it's not a great use of Zarya's damage potential because Zarya melts tanks so well, and the awareness like of the fight is like minimized because he's looking up so much. I mean, he honestly tracked her like pretty darn well. This personal though, yeah, not a great personal. Could have waited. She hadn't shot a rocket at him yet. He could have reacted to the rocket and then personaled.
Bro.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Oh, he's dead. He's so dead.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
This
good.
happens. He's for juicy.
Yeah, yes, I saw Jayne's video. I talked about it in the
We should
first Jayne VOD
definitely speed it up
review.
in case they do grab us.
Ooh. There you go. He reacted to the rocket that time. This is so here's the I want energy bubble. He's trying to farm energy, but the teams are so close together. I imagine he's gonna wish he had a bubble in the next 8 seconds.
Just take it slow, Ryan. Take
Run
it
that
slow.
shatter somewhere.
He wants his Ryan to take it slow, which is fair. At least he's
You're not
communicating.
north. There he is.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What a fat shatter.
Just got,
Let's see. 2, 1. No, he didn't have a bubble to save him.
just got stole.
That bubble was too early. Wait, hang on. Let's see. Did he see the arrow? And I just missed it. Come on. Come on, frame by frame, give it to me. Oh my god, it doesn't want to do it. Oh, he saw the arrow, right? He sees the arrow, which prompts the bubble. So, no, I take it back. This bubble's fine. Oops, sorry, that bubble is fine. Just didn't catch the arrow, unfortunately.
There was one. There was one.
Personal seemed a little early, too. A tiny bit early. He bubbled, and then I think he just catches some AoE, but Zarya wasn't shooting at him.
One.
Gets her out, or yeah.
Like, right here, he's grenading when Moira is in beam range,
Get out.
so he misses his chance for the beam.
Regroup.
He has to personal there to get out. Unlucky. They pushed in so hard.
My ultimate is ready to be unleashed.
Alright.
Get in there.
So he got a poke phase projected off.
We need to kill this fucking Pharaoh.
I got bubble for you, Ryan.
Oh, just a warning. The Hanzo does get pretty toxic at the end. It's there. It's unfortunate. Let's not get in a huff about it. It sucks, but it happens. Finally, God, that sneeze has been plaguing me for an hour.
Yeah.
All right, so he had a poke phase barrier already.
Bubble for you, Ryan.
This barrier, like, here's the thing. Is Ryan getting aggressive because Zarya says, I have a bubble for you? Because if that's the case, I would just stop telling my Ryan, I have a bubble for you, because I don't want him to play aggressive just because I have a bubble. I want him to play aggressive because he wants to accomplish something.
I got bubble for you, Ryan.
Like, I've got a bubble for you, and then Ryan's like, oh, okay, and he moves up and takes a ton of damage and starts swinging. Whereas if Jayne had a good personal here, he'd be at 60 energy, and then he could save his projected for something like really important. So he bubbles the Ryan, he gets the energy, but now he doesn't have the bubble for...
Alright, I'm gonna ult.
Yeah.
Spawn, guys.
I mean, there's nothing they could do for that anyway.
Ready?
It was Zen.
Alright, the enemy Zarya waited for the blue Ryan to fire strike, so that was good by the enemy Zarya. Jayne had two poke phase barriers, so I All right, he might get away with the second poke phase barrier.
Ryan's
There's
probably
Zarya's
gone.
in alleys.
Yeah, she's too far though.
I don't know what they're
I got
holding
Moira.
for. We got their Moira.
Oh man, the flank shatter into barrage.
Oh,
She's one.
Okay.
Nope, nothing he could do there. Did he even have a personal to maybe block that? No, he didn't. Alright,
so that one
personal
was right.
poke phase barrier.
They're probably about 60 or 70% of the way to grab.
Alright.
Projected poke phase. As the teams get closer, the poke phase is ending. Aw, he missed the fire strike.
Just hurry up, bro.
Oh man, how many barriers did he just have with for 0 energy? 3? I think he had 3. 1. No,
Alright,
he
so
got
that
energy
was-
on the first
there
one.
you go.
Excuse me. 1,
Just hurry
2.
up, bro.
The fact that this projected got 0 really sucks. How do we? Like with this barrier, he didn't communicate like he was gonna barrier. Ryan's gonna like he doesn't. You don't always have to. Like obviously, I was just saying. You know, if you don't have to tell your Ryan, like I said at the beginning of this stream, like just because you tell like Reinhardt players, just because Zarya has barrier available doesn't mean you have to get like crazy aggressive. So Ryan takes a bunch of damage, which prompts the barrier. So honestly, the barrier is fine. It's just kind of unlucky. It didn't get any damage.
I'm gonna flank through alley and then I'm gonna grab from behind in 3, 2. Oh,
Right. So the communication is there from Jayne. What his plan was: I'm flanking with Grav, and then he decides not to Grav because his allied Reinhardt Earth Shatters. And you don't really want to combo Grav Earth Shatter. So
oh, never mind.
he tries to focus down a target. Now, because he has 0 energy from all those awkward barriers earlier, this target takes forever to kill. And then he grenaded and then looked away. And then by the time he tries to grenade again, the enemy Zarya gets such a good barrier off.
What the fuck?
Hang on, I'm turning it down because this guy gets loud. As they all stood up right here, he maybe, like, you don't want to combo Grav Shatter unless one isn't going to get the job done, you know? Because, what's the word I'm looking for here? So, since the Earth Shatter came out and they're all standing up, the Earth Shatter didn't do the job. The match is about to end, so he should have. I mean, I think obviously Jayne realizes it. Also, he needed to grab over here to combo with his Hanzo. Why his Hanzo is in the midst of all these people is not helping. Like that, he shouldn't have been there. Jayne just got a little tunneled on this guy, and this all stems from bad barriers, right? Because he had bad barriers, he didn't have energy. Because he didn't have energy, it took him way too long to kill this guy, and because it took him way too long to kill this guy, he missed the opportunity to grab all these enemies over here on the right-hand side.
Fair one. What the fuck, dude? Use your fucking grind.
Yeah, I apologize.
We already hit the hammer.
Fucking holding it for next game, dude.
All right, that's the end of that. So the same problems kind of stem from the first VOD, which is he's bubbling too early. Chad was able to point out a couple reload issues, which Jayne already mentioned in his own Zarya video. So this is 2 of 5. The next VOD is from the next stream of his. So his play, like I said, it goes from bad to good. So as we go through these VODs, we'll see Jayne improve as a player, and we'll see things that he's learned and that we'll learn along the way. So the main thing here was he's still having the issue where he's bubbling too early. He's bubbling a lot at 90+ energy when he doesn't need to, and he's kind of reloading in places he shouldn't be, which then creates these awkward situations where he misses opportunities. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing. You can check out all my other videos on YouTube and watch these VOD reviews live on Twitch and get announcements about content, etc. on Twitter and Discord. All those links are in the description. Thank you guys for watching. As always, hope it was helpful and have a good one. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. Check out these 2 other videos on the left hand side and be sure to subscribe by clicking that button on the right. If you like all of this stuff, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and of course YouTube. All the links will be in the description below. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good one.